In order to begin loading your gel, we're going to require a palette to mix our sample. So Ashley is cutting a little piece of parafilm. Her gel has now polymerized, so she's ready to take it out of the tray. Notice she had a little bit of trouble with this. It would have helped to take the comb out first, so then it doesn't get wedged, but regardless, she was able to get it out properly. And then it's ready to place into the gel tank. Usually the gel tank will already have some buffer in it. If it doesn't, that's okay. We can add some more later. And then place your tray into the tank, making sure that the wells are on the negative side, and that's the black pole. If you have not yet pulled out your comb, now's the time to do so. Just be gentle, making sure that the gel doesn't slide off the tray, and if it does move a little bit, you can simply use your fingers to slide it back. Fill the gel tank with TAE buffer until the wells have completely submerged. Using used TAE for this purpose is more than suitable. And now comes the fun part. Preload the parafilm that you have cut with the appropriate amount of cyber green, loading dye, and possibly water that you have calculated already. And when you are ready, you pipette your sample into the drops. The amount that your pipette will vary according to the type of reaction that you run. Ashley here has run a PCR, so typically we use 2 microliters of the PCR reaction. An efficient way, if it's available to you, is to use 2 pipettes. One set at 2 microliters to pipette your sample, and another set at 8 microliters, which will allow you to suck up all the liquid and then mix using a pipette. Try to avoid those air bubbles, so if you do get some air bubbles, spit it out, and then pipette it all up until there are no major air bubbles. Pipetting into the gel takes a steady hand. I like to hold my breath, and then pipetting out nice and slow, allowing the sample to fall into the well. And when all your samples are loaded, place on the lid, making sure that it's on snug, but don't push too hard because sometimes the gel box will tip, causing a spill. And then place the electrodes into the power supply, red to red, black to black. Here in the lab, we like to run it at 90 volts. And when you're ready to go, simply hit the run pause button to the run mode, check the gel, make sure that there are bubbles on the negative electrode, and then your gel is running. When you complete it, hit the run pause to stop, and gently open the lid. Notice Ashley has a paper towel tray. She's going to use that to carry the gel around to prevent any drops or breaks of her gel. And while keeping a finger on one side of your tray, pour off the excess buffer and then place your gel onto the paper towel tray. Always cradle it to make sure it doesn't slide out, and you're now ready to take a picture. The imager that we're using is different from the one that Ashley is using, so I'm not going to go into details as to how she got a picture, but PCR is one of those things that is absolutely delayed gratification. You never really know it worked until you get to this moment, when you put it onto the imager and you get to see the pictures of your gel. Takes Ashley a moment, and look how happy she looks.